Go to Google and type Rathod's IAS. Then you can see our website Rathod's IAS Academy. There you have to click on login or register in the blue color. So if you have not registered yet, you have to click on do not have account and fill the details. So after once you have login, click on the courses. There you can see course list. And in this course list you can see wide range of courses. Hi, this is Usha. Welcome to Rathod's IAS classes. Today in this lecture, we are going to see current affairs of 1st July 2022. So let's get started with our discussion and let us try to see the code. So today's articles I collected from PIB, Down to Earth, Indian Express and also The Hindu. So we are covering comprehensively current affairs from all these sources. So now let us try to see today's quote. So today's quote is a motivational quote. So it says that every day is a good day. There is something to learn, care and celebrate. So every day is a good day and start your day with positive vibes so that will increase your maximum productivity. So now let us try to see first topic. So this topic which is mainly collected from PIB. So this article which is mainly focusing on renewable energy. So actually what is this article talking about? So this article which mainly says that so cabinet which mainly approves strategic partnership agreement. So this is agreement which is mainly between Ministry of New and Renewable Energy and IRENA. So we are going to talk about what is this agreement which mainly talks about and what is the significance of this agreement. So this will be important from our environment and ecology point of view. Here why? Because we are going to talk about this renewable energy. So why we need to come up with this type of agreements? As you all know, we are facing challenges due to this climate change, global warming, melting of glaciers, increasing of sea level rise. Okay. So because of all these things, now we need to fight against this climate change. So one important way to fight against this climate change here is we can focus on our renewable energy. So we need to minimize the usage of these fossil fuels like coal, diesel, petrol, etc. so that we can decrease greenhouse gas emissions into atmosphere. That will ultimately leads to decreasing of global warming. As you all know that. So in this COP26, Conference of Parties 26, our Prime Minister, he mainly said that we are going to achieve this carbon neutrality by 2070. So to achieve this target also, we need to focus on this renewable energy. So this is a somewhat significance of this agreement. So now, let us try to see this in detail. So if we are talking about context, it mainly says that Union Cabinet appraised a strategic partnership agreement, and this agreement which mainly signed between Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, Government of India and International Renewable Energy Agency, that is IRENA. After this agreement which mainly signed in January 2022, and we came with this appraisal of this agreement recently. And now let us try to see some details of this agreement. So important aim of this agreement, it is to drive ambition and is mainly focusing on leadership and knowledge on green energy transitions. So we are mainly talking about green energy transitions and it is mainly based on renewable energy. Okay, it is mainly based on this renewable energy. So this agreement which will be very much helpful for India to help to achieve targets in climate change. And if you're talking about areas of cooperation, so areas of cooperation under this agreement which will be very much helpful to achieve our target of 500 gigawatts of installed non-fossil fuel electricity capacity, and we can achieve it by 2030. Okay, so this area of cooperation. So if you're talking about area of cooperation of this agreement which will be helpful to achieve our ambitious target. So target here is 500 gigawatts of installed non-fossil fuel electricity capacity, and we can achieve this by 2030. And if you are talking about salient features, so salient features of this agreement which mainly include increased cooperation, or we can go for enhanced cooperation in different areas. So you have to know in which areas we can increase our cooperation. So for example, it will helpful in sharing of knowledge. Okay, sharing of knowledge regarding this renewable energy and even clean energy technologies. So regarding this renewable and clean energy technology, we can increase our knowledge sharing. And next one is that will help to support India's efforts on long-term energy planning. So here for long-term energy planning, so it is mainly going to support our India's energy targets. And next one is it will be helpful to strengthen innovation climate in India. Yes, whenever we are focusing with the sharing of information with the other things as well, then that will helpful to boost the knowledge, such that it will be helpful for moving towards innovation climate in India. And next one here is, so here whenever we are moving towards cost effective decarbonization, so that will be helpful, okay, for the country, for the larger public good. And we can also focus on green hydrogen as well. So these are some important areas. And if you're talking about significance, so what is the significance? As you all know, so this agreement will helpful mainly to achieve India's energy transition efforts, and it will also helpful to combat climate change. Okay, so this is about this topic in detail. And now let us try to see next topic. It is about Ramsar list. So here coal ministry approaches ministry, that is environment ministry, for inclusion of 5 coal mine pit lakes. Okay, 5 coal mine pit lakes in Ramsar list. So here you have to know about what is Ramsar convention, and you have to know about importance of wetlands. Why? Because so there was one question which asked in 2020-22 prelims regarding so importance of wetlands. So there, from that point of view, we need to know about what are the functions of this wetland. Why need to focus on this conservation of this wetland? So what is the importance of this Ramsar convention? So these are some important areas that you need to know regarding this topic. So now let us try to see this topic. So this is important from your environment and ecology, which mainly comes under your GS paper 3. And now let us try to see context. If you see context, it mainly says that here Coal India Limited, that is CIL, which has undertaken some conservation of coal mine pit lakes. So Coal India Limited, which mainly undertaken this conservation of this coal mine pit lakes, and you are mainly focusing on maintaining of this ecological character. They are mainly focusing on this ecological character of wetlands, and they want to include some pit lakes in this prestigious Ramsar list. Okay, so because of this they approached this Ministry of Environment. So if you see details, it mainly says that here the suitability of this coal mine pit lakes for inclusion in this Ramsar list, they was discussed in this Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. So actually this Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, which is a nodal ministry actually, so it will go for identification of the wetlands that need to be placed in this Ramsar list. So what are these coal mine pit lakes? So as you all know that coal which is mainly buried inside the soil, and whenever we find that coal is also present, we are going for digging. Okay, so whenever we are digging, so that will be forming lakes, and whenever there is a rainfall, precipitation, when nearby lakes and nearby rivers, they will be filling this pits, and they will be forming this coal mine pits. So whenever this coal mine pits are formed, yes, they will also come into this wetlands. So here whenever there is a wetland is there, so there will be a large amount of birds, even migratory birds, they will be visiting this areas mainly to get some water, to get some rest. Okay, so because of this, here it is a responsibility of this Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change to place them which are of important, which are of importance, like if they are getting migrant birds visits, and if there is if they are getting home, if they are acting as a home for large number of birds, means so yes, they need to get this Ramsar listing. So here the suitability of this coal mine pit lakes for inclusion in this Ramsar list, they was discussed with this Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. So here this MOEFCC, which is a nodal ministry, it is mainly going for identification of this wetlands, and they will be placing those wetlands in this Ramsar list. So as per the guidelines of this Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, it mainly identified 5 pit lakes, and they are mainly located in states of West Bengal, Odisha, Jharkhand and Madhya Pradesh. Okay, so these are the states where they identified 5 pit lakes, and they mainly consider for they need to be listed in this Ramsar list. And why we need to place that coal mine pits lakes in this Ramsar list? Because actually these pit water bodies, they were regularly visited by different species of birds, and even we can see wide range of avifauna fauna which is mainly present in this region. And environment around these water bodies have been developed or conserved by this Coal India Limited. They went for plantation and they went for soil moisture conservation activities. So because of this, they approached this Ministry of Environment to consider these places. They need to be listed in this Ramsar list. So if we are talking about some facts regarding this Ramsar Convention, so actually it is an international treaty. So this Ramsar Convention is mainly focusing on wise use of wetlands, because of ecological services which are mainly provided by the wetlands, they are very much heavy. So because of that, yes, we need to go for conservation of these wetlands. And actually this Ramsar Convention, which is mainly named after Iranian city, so the city name here is Ramsar on this Caspian Sea. So here this treaty was signed on 2nd February 1971, and this treaty, which is officially known as the Convention on Wetlands of International Importance, especially waterfowl habitat. Okay, so here this Ramsar Convention, which is officially known as the Convention of Wetlands of International Importance, especially waterfowl habitat, and actually it came into force in 1975. So if we're talking about importance of wetlands, so what are the ecological services which are mainly provided by these wetlands? Yes, as an UPSC aspirant, you need to know that. So here, health of people and our health of our planet, which mainly depends on this health of wetlands. As you know, our earth, which is mainly covered more than 70% with water, and only the remaining part which is left with land. Right? So if you're talking about ecological services which is mainly provided by this wetlands, about 40% of this world species live and they breed in wetlands. Okay, about 40% of this world species, they live or they breed in wetlands, and wetlands, they are called as nurseries of life, because about 40% of animals, they will breed in this wetlands. And apart from that, they are called as kidneys of our earth. So this is a statement which mainly occurred or came in this 2022 prelims. That is why wetlands are called as kidneys of earth, because they clean the environment of our pollutants. Okay, they mainly focused on environment of pollutants, and they will be involved in the cleaning mechanism. And wetlands, they are called as matter of climate change, because they store 30% of this land based carbon. And next one is wetlands, they minimize the disaster risk, because they absorb the storm surge. So because of this, that will be helpful to decrease the impact of floods or decrease the impact of cyclones, tsunamis, etc. So these are some ecological services which are mainly provided by this wetlands, and this topic is at most important. And next topic, it is from Indian Express. It is talking about renaming of Aurangabad city as Shambhaji Nagar. So you have to know about this, and if you are from especially Maharashtra, you can get an interview question regarding this topic as well. And now let us try to see this topic in detail. So if you see here, Uddhav Thackeray cabinet on June 29, they approved the renaming of this Aurangabad city as Shambhaji Nagar, and they came up with renaming of this Usmanabad city, which is mainly named after last ruler of Hyderabad, that is Mir Usman Ali Khan, as Dharashiv. Okay, two names. So Aurangabad city to Shambhaji Nagar, and next one is Usmanabad city to Dharashiv. So now let us try to see what are the reasons and some background. So if you see here, Aurangabad, which was mainly founded in 1610 by Malik Ambar. So who founded this Aurangabad? That is Malik Ambar. So he, the Siddhi general of this Nizam Shahi dynasty of Ahmednagar. So he mainly was a general of this Nizam Shahi dynasty of this Ahmednagar. So this city, it was named as Kirki or Kadki at that time, and it is the name, and its name was changed to Fatehpur by Malik Ambar sir, that is Fatehpur Khan. Okay, Fateh Khan, following Malik Ambar's death. So after once this Malik Ambar death happened, So this city which is mainly named as Fatehpur. And in 1653, so Mughal Emperor Aurangabad, he invaded the Deccan and he set up his capital in this city. And later on he renamed it as Aurangabad, and the city was born the association of its name with Aurangabad ever since. And later on, Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj, the son of successor of this Chhatrapati Shivraj Maharaj, he was tortured and he killed in brutal fashion on this Aurangzeb orders in 1689. So here we are mainly changing the name from Aurangabad to this Sambhaji. So now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding new research. Better road safety measures could save 500,000 lives annually worldwide. So this article which is mainly focusing on road safety. So actually this article is appearing even in today's Hindu newspaper in text and context. So we are going to discuss that. So here we are going to discuss both together here itself. So if you see context, it mainly says that new global and country level estimates, they mainly suggest that. So if you are taking some safety measures like wearing helmet and also wearing seat belts, and whenever we are following the speed limits, and whenever we are avoiding drunk and drive, yes, we can save the lives of about 3,47,000, okay, and 5,40,000 lives in worldwide every year. Okay, so whenever we are following some safety guidelines like wearing helmets when you are moving on two-wheelers, and you have to wear seat belts when you are traveling in your cars, and we need to follow speed limits. And apart from that, one important thing here is we should avoid drunk and drive. So that will helpful to save a lot of lives of people. So if you see details, it mainly says that the benefits of more motorcyclists wearing helmets, that is mainly seen biggest in China. So in China, because of wearing of this helmets, so even if accident happens, that will not have much threat to the life. And next it is followed by Brazil, and third one is India. So this is the report which mainly published in Lancet. So analysis of data which is mainly from 74 studies and 185 countries, they estimate that targeting 4 key risk factors for road injuries and deaths. Okay, so important reasons for this road injuries and deaths here is, first one is overspeed, next one is drink driving, that is drunken drive, and next one is non-use of crash helmets and as well as seat belts. You are not using them. So because of this, that led to increasing of risk of life threats in this road accidents. So we can prevent this death because of this road accident by 25% and 40% of fatal road injuries worldwide year if you are mainly following these measures like speed limit, drunken drive. Next one is using of helmets and seat belts. So Lancet series of road safety, which mainly published ahead of first ever United Nations high level meeting on road safety, and it mainly calls for increased political and financial commitments and for the road safety to be included in the mainstream development policies. So Lancet studies on road safety which mainly published, which mainly says that so there is increased political and financial commitments, and even road safety should be included in the mainstream developmental policies. So what are the developmental projects? What are the developmental policies that is come up by the government? They need to focus even on this road safety. So it argues that this is essential to achieve United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, including the target to halve road traffic crash fatalities and injuries by 2030. And deaths on the roads, they are the major problem in India. So what is the major problem in India? Yes, whenever there is any accidents that is leading to death. So death are the one of the major problem in India. So each year road accident which mainly kills about 1,50,000 people, and that will also leads to injuring of around 4,50,000 people in our India. So even WB, that is World Bank, which also came up with a report which mainly says that 1% of world vehicles and India, which mainly accounts for almost 10% of this cash related debts in India. So India, which mainly showing about 10% of all cash related debts. So if we're talking about one important thing, you have to focus whenever I'm saying about road safety, one declaration that need to come into your mind is Brasilia Declaration. So this Brasilia Declaration, which mainly talks about road safety. So this declaration, which mainly signed at second global high level conference, okay, it is mainly focusing on road safety, which mainly held in Brazil. So declaration was signed at second global high level conference on road safety, which mainly held in Brazil. And next one is this Brasilia Declaration countries, they are mainly planning to achieve sustainable development goal, that is 3.6, and by 2020 half the number of this global health global death and injuries, they are mainly from this road traffic accidents. So here why we need to follow this Brasilia Declaration, why we came up with this Brasilia Declaration. So this declaration, which is mainly signed at second global high level conference on road safety, and actually through this Brazilian declaration, so they are mainly planning to achieve our sustainable development goal, that is 3.6. So we are mainly focusing on decreasing of number of deaths and as well as injuries due to this road traffic accidents. And here even United Nations, which mainly declared 2010 and 2020 as decade of action for this Brazilian road safety, and we are mainly focusing on this Brazilian declaration. Actually, if you are focusing on some important points regarding this Brasilia Declaration, so countries, they will form transport policies and they are mainly going to favor more sustainable modes of transport, for example walking, cycling and using public transport. As you all know that, so whenever we are going on our own vehicle, so there is increased chance of accidents. So here apart from that, we can use some walking and even you can use cycling and even public transport system. And next one is, so it mainly highlights some strategies that mainly ensure safety of all road users. And next one is, it will also focusing on improving of law and enforcement regarding this road safety and making roads safer through infrastructural modifications. They are mainly focusing on making the roads safer through this infrastructural modifications, and we are mainly ensuring that vehicles are equipped with life-saving technologies. Yes, we have to have some life-saving technologies, especially in cars. So we will be having, like, whether when we are going on the road, whether the car which is mainly hit the another thing or not, we will be having some information, but that is not there with our motor vehicles, that is two-wheelers. So we need to focus on this life-saving technologies. And even if you're talking about life-saving technology, I can talk about airbags, okay, airbags in the cars. And next one is, we need to enhance emergency trauma care systems, because here we need to talk about one concept called as golden hour. So golden hour means nothing but within 1 hour of accident, whenever that victim who is taken into the nearby hospital, then the chance of saving of this life will be very high. So in this golden hour, so we need to try to take this person who met with an accident to the nearby hospital or to get the medical care. So for that, we need to go for establishing of this emergency trauma care centers. Okay, so this is about this topic and I hope it is very much clear. Now let us try to talk about next topic. Title says, internet shutdowns hurt much more than we realize. United Nations Rights Office. So this article that I took from this Down to Earth. So actually you might have come across this internet shutdowns. If you are from Jammu and Kashmir especially, you might have noticed about this internet shutdown, right? So actually whenever there is internet shutdown, so what happened, that will be having some negative impacts on the economy of that so and so state. So now let us try to understand what is the impact of this internet shutdown. So first of all, let us try to understand what is the meaning of this internet shutdown. So if you see context, it mainly says that recently United Nations High Commission, okay, High Commissioner for this human rights, United Nations High Commissioner for this human rights, which mainly came up with a report, and this report here which mainly talks about internet shutdowns, trends, what are the causes, legal implications and impacts on the range of human rights. Okay, so here it mainly says that whenever we are going for this internet shutdown, that mainly affects people's safety. So first it mainly affects people's safety and as well as well-being of people, and even it mainly hampers information flow, and even it harms the economy, right? So this is about the introduction. And if you're talking about details, what is the internet shutdown? So internet shutdown means nothing but whenever we are taking measures, okay, measures are taken by government or by an entity. So government and even entity which mainly taken some measures on behalf of government, and they are mainly focusing that whenever this intentionally disrupt or access to use some information communication systems online, that is called as internet shutdown. So internet shutdown means nothing but it might be measures which may be taken by the government or any entity on behalf of government. They want to disrupt access, okay, and as well as use of information communication systems online. So if we're talking about this shutdown, which mainly includes like complete block of internet connectivity, or it may also include lack of, or we can say there is no proper accessibility of this internet, and it will be affecting services. Okay, so here we are mainly going for sometimes limiting of our mobile services only to 2G but not 3G 4G like that. And here in this way, here whenever there is a bandwidth, it is only allowance of 2G, then we can't go for opening of certain websites or certain sites. Okay, so in this way here it will be very difficult for the meaningful use of this internet. So here internet shutdown is mainly done by government or any entity on behalf of government. So this is one important thing that you have to remember. And if you're talking about key findings, we have to see from the global level and in regarding India level. Okay, and later on we are going to see what will be the impact. So if we're talking according to this global scenario, the first major internet shutdown which mainly happened here in Egypt in 2011. So it was accompanied by hundreds of arrests and as well as killings. And actually we also came up with this Keep It On coalition, and this Keep It On coalition which mainly monitors internet shutdown episodes across the world. And this Keep It On coalition which mainly said that about 931 internet shutdowns in 74 countries which happened between this 2016 to 2021. And out of this, about 12 countries they implemented more than 10 shutdowns during this 2016 to 2021. And majority of these shutdowns which mainly reported from Asia and as well as Africa. So now let us try to see Indian scenario particularly. So India blocked or disrupted internet connections of like 106 times. At least 85 of India's internet shutdowns which were mainly seen in Jammu and Kashmir. And next one is almost half of the shutdowns recorded by civil society groups, that is from 2016 to 2021. So this is about here Indian scenario regarding internet shutdowns. So if we talk about what will be the impact, the first one here we need to talk about economic activities. Yes, nowadays we are mainly moving towards this digital transactions. So here whenever there is shutdown of internet means it will be having some major economic cost of all sectors, and they will be going to disrupt financial transactions, commerce and industry. And World Bank which recently calculated that internet shutdowns in Myanmar alone which mainly cost like US dollars 2.8 billion, that is from February to December 2021. And if you're talking about in area of education, yes, in education also it mainly undermines the learning outcomes, because here children they can't go for online teaching or online learning, education planning, etc. And if you're talking about access to health and humanitarian assistance, yes, studies have shown that significant impacts of shutdown of this internet will be there even on this health system, including urgent medical care, disrupting of delivery of essential medicines, maintenance of equipments, limiting the exchange of health information between medical personnel, and as well as disrupting of essential medical health assistance. So it will be mainly focusing on even access to the health and as well as humanitarian assistance. And now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding Abhyas. Okay, it is high speed expendable aerial target Abhyas successfully tested off Odisha coast. So this article I collected from this Indian Express, and even in yesterday's lecture also we studied about this topic in our Hindu newspaper, right? So if you see context, it mainly says that recently India successfully tested indigenously designed Abhyas. So this Abhyas, it is a high speed expendable aerial target, that is HEAT, from this Odisha coast. Actually this test, which mainly carried out by DRDO, that is Defense Research and Development Organization, from ITR, that is Integrated Test Range. And if you are talking about details, it mainly says that, so here this Abhyas, which also powered by a gas turbine engine. So with this gas turbine engine, which will help to sustain a long endurance. And next one here is, it is also equipped with this MEMS, that is microelectric mechanical system. Actually it is mainly based on inertial navigation system, and they are mainly focusing on this flight control computer. It will be helpful for guidance and as well as control. And actually this Abhyas, which also equipped with this MEMS, okay, it's mainly focusing on flight control and as well as guidance and control. And this vehicle, which also programmed with fully autonomous flight. Okay, it is also having fully autonomous flight, and it will be helpful for checkout and even laptop based ground control stations. An Abhyas system, which mainly equipped with radar cross section, okay, and infrared signatures, and they can be also used to stimulate a variety of aircrafts. Okay, so this is about this topic, and this is the image of this Abhyas. I hope you can see on the screen. And now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding ease of doing business ranking. So Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Gujarat among the top achievers in ease of doing business ranking of states. So here this article says that Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat, Telangana, they are among 7 states. They are categorized under this top achievers in ranking of states and union territories. Okay, so this is mainly released by our Union Finance Minister. So if you see some details, Haryana, Karnataka, Punjab, Tamil Nadu, they are other states. They also listed top achievers. Himachal Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Odisha, Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, they have categorized as achievers in the ranking. And if you are talking about aim of this study, so they are mainly focusing on boosting of investor confidence and will also helpful to create business friendly climate, and will be also helpful to augment ease of doing business across the country. Okay, and it will be also helpful for implementation of this business reforms action plan. So if you are talking about this BRAP, that is a business reforms action plan. So this BRAP 2020, which mainly includes 301 reform points, and they are mainly covering about 15 business regulatory areas, and they are mainly focusing on access to information, single window system, labor and as well as land administration. So there are about 180 new reforms, and they were included to further augment the reform process, and the reforms with 72 action plans spread across the 9 sectors. For example, we can see some sectors like trade, license, healthcare, legal metrology, and as well as cinema halls. Okay, so these are some important areas. And now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding GS7 commitments. So this article will be important from your international relations, which mainly comes under your GS paper 2. And now let us try to see what are the key highlights of this G7 summit. So I already explained you which are the countries part of this G7 summit or G7 grouping. So please let me know which are the countries part of this G7. So here recently our Prime Minister, he went to Germany and he attended G7 summit. And along with other special invitees like Argentina, Indonesia, Senegal, South Africa, India also attended this G7 summit. And if you're talking about highlights of this G7 summit, the first one here is they came up with this communique. So it mainly is talking about jointly to defend universal human rights and democratic values, rules-based multilateral order, and the resilience of democratic societies. Okay, so this communique, which mainly focuses on G7 leaders, they adopted this communique, and it is mainly focusing on universal human rights, democratic values, rules-based multilateral order, resilience of democratic societies. So next one, it is regarding Ukraine issue. So G7 leaders, they mainly focused on condemnation of Russia's illegal and unjustifiable war of aggression. And these G7 countries, they have pledged to provide 28 billions in budget aid, and that will be helpful to support Ukrainian reconstruction. And next one here is energy and food security. So here these G7 leaders, they also committed to phase out dependency on this Russian energy, and they want to secure energy supply and to reduce the price surges regarding this international crude oil prices. And these G7 countries, they are also focusing on nutritional security as well. And if you're talking about economic issues, so G7 leaders, they remain committed to coordinate on economic security, and they are also mainly focusing on strengthening of the resilience of supply chains, and they also focused on tackling of rising cost of living. Okay, they are also focusing on increasing of the cost of living, and they also focused on climate and environment. Here G7 leaders, they also came up with a plan, that is International Climate Club. So this International Climate Club, which is mainly focusing to accelerate implementation of this Paris Agreement. And here these G7 leaders, they committed to highly decarbonized road sector by 2030, and they are fully or predominantly decarbonized power sector by 2035, and they also prioritized on acceleration of phasing out of domestic unabated coal power. So these are some important targets. So if you're talking about investments, they also focused on investment. They came up with $, 600 billion. Okay, that is investment. They are mainly focusing on to counter this China's BRI, Belt and Road Initiative, that is PGII, that is Partnership of Global Infrastructure and Investment. And they also talking about partnership with South Africa. Okay, they want to build their existing partnership with this South Africa, and they want to focus on new energy transition partnerships with Indonesia, India, Senegal, and as well as Vietnam. And if you're talking about in regarding health sector, so this G7 leaders, they reaffirmed that they are going to come up with their commitment to equitable global access to safe, effective, and affordable vaccines, therapeutics, diagnostics, and even other essential medical goods. And next one is democratic values. So if you're talking about these democratic values, here G7 leaders, they mainly said that they are going to cooperate with the civil societies and partners to strengthen the resilience of their of our societies, and even we are mainly focusing on human rights online and as well as offline. We are going to promote this human rights, and this one is we need to address disinformation or misinformation, and even we are focusing on achieving of this gender equality. So these are some important highlights. So finally, author says that on the Indian stage, our Prime Minister, he mainly committed that some important aspects of democracy, and he also gave a written assurance or that government will protect civil society, freedom of expression, thought, conscience, religion, and belief. So these are some important challenges that we are facing in our country. So this is about this topic. And now let us try to see yesterday's questions. So first question is regarding Harappan civilization. So Harappan looked upon earth as a fertility goddess. Yes, because of this they used to worship the mother goddess, and even some reproductive areas or private parts. And next one is Harappans had some kind of belief in their life after death. Yes. Okay, so correct option is 3, both 1 and 2. And next one here is consider the following statements regarding the general characteristics of idol of Buddha under Mathura art. So we have Mathura art, Gandhara art. So here you have to know difference between this Mathura and Gandhara for sure. So it will be like a 10 marker or 15 marker question in your means. So a first statement here is there were made of white spotted red stones. Yes. And this one is curly hair. So actually in this Mathura art there will be the clean shave, or we can say we did not see any curly hair. So this second statement we can eliminate. And next one is no marks on forehead, yes. Next one is dress always tied to the body, yes. So here correct option will be 1, 3 and 4. Option 1 is correct answer. And if you see the today's questions, the first one is regarding ancient philosophy, that is Sankhya philosophy and Nyaya philosophy. And next question, it is regarding Sangam literature. So please try to read this question and read the statements properly and give me the correct option in the comment box. And now I want to make a small announcement on this platform. We in Rathod size we came up with this mains answer writing practice course of 1 year duration. So in this 1 year we are going to give you weekly targets. So based on that weekly targets, daily one question will be given. So here you have to write answer and you have to send your question to our mail ID so that there will be evaluation. And we also give you model answer for that so and so question. And also we provide one-to-one mentorship. So this course is very essential. So please try to join this course. And this course it is going to be started from this July 3rd onwards. Okay, so please try to join this course. And one more thing is, so the cost of this course is just 7,200 rupees for 1 year. So this is very much affordable and accessible for all. And if you see, we also came up with this foundational course for 2023, 2024, 2024 as well. So here we are providing 600 hours of video classes, which each and every topic which is very much dealt clearly there. And we are also focusing on previous year's questions of prelims and as well as mains, so that you will be getting some conceptual clarity. So conceptual clarity is very important to clear this prelims and as well as mains, because there is a changing of trends that we can see and we need to follow this changing of trends. Okay, so the cost of this entire foundational course here is just 49,000 with the validity of 2 years. And here this offer price may not be extended, okay, next month. So if you want to join, so please join. So in this 49,000 you will be also getting prelims test series and as well as mains answer writing course which is free of cost. Okay, and if you want to see the demo videos, you can go to the YouTube and there we release some demo videos. And if you want to see all these demo videos at once, means you can visit our website rathodisacademy.com. There you can register with your email ID and you can click on play course so that you can watch 3 demo videos without paying a single penny. And now let us try to see today's Hindu newspaper PDF. So this is our Hindu PDF. So first article, it is regarding Chief Minister of Maharashtra. So here Eknath Shinde, he is Maharashtra Chief Minister now. Okay, so it is very important, and if you are from Maharashtra state, you have to know about what is the political crisis that is mainly seen in this Maharashtra. And here there is one article, it is regarding landslip or landslide. You have to know some facts regarding this landslides, and even this topic is important from your disaster management, where you are going to read about what is a post-disaster response of this landslide. And here you can see one article regarding the small savings interest rate. So here you have to focus on this. So this will be also very important. And if you move forward, here you can see alternatives to single-use plastic is costlier. So we already discussed one article, I think 4 days ago, that we are going to ban the single-use plastic from July 1st onwards. But here the vendors who are mainly using this plastic for packing etc. and to providing tea, coffee etc. So here they are mainly finding that whenever they are going for this paper plates and as well paper covers, paper cups etc. So the cost is very much high. It is not economically viable for them. So here we need to think about some alternatives for making this plastic free society. And if you move forward, you can directly go to this states page number 7. Here you can see AP tops country in ease of doing business. I discussed this topic. And if you move forward in this editorial page, there is one article regarding anti-defection law. Yesterday itself I discussed about this topic, so I didn't took for this today's discussion. And regarding this G7 summit, I discussed this topic now. It is the last article. And there is one article regarding this inequality. So if you are interested, you can read this article. And if you move forward, here in this data point, you can see the many patterns of this dengue. So here you have to know about some facts regarding this dengue. Already we discussed number of times. And in this text and context, there is one article that is free fall of rupee. So why there is a decreasing of value for this rupee? Because whenever there is interest rate which is increased in other countries, so the flight which is mainly going from India to other countries, such that there is increase in the demand for the dollars, so that led to increasing of price of dollars against this rupee. So this is the thing. And next one here is road safety. I discussed this Lancet report. And if you move forward in this newspaper, that is page number 12, you can see some articles, that is modified PSLV, that is Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle, which mainly places 3 foreign satellites into orbit. Okay, so here you have to know about why this PSLV is called as power horse of ISRO. You have to know that, and this is your homework. And next one here, it is regarding Gaganyaan. So Gaganyaan crew safety is top priority. So ISRO says that we are going to delay this space launch of this Chandrayaan 3 and as well as Gaganyaan, because he says that here crew safety is very much important and they are giving priority to this crew safety. And here you can see Amarnath Yatra begins after a gap of 3 years. So it is one of the enthusiastic yatra, I can say here. Okay, so after 3 years we came up with this Amarnath Yatra. So you have to know some facts regarding this Amarnath Yatra. And if you move forward in this page, you can see concern over shortage of leprosy drugs in private sector. So actually this article, which is mainly talking about clofazimine. So here actually this is one of the important and key drug which is mainly used to treat this leprosy. But in Indian market, we are mainly seeing there is a shortfall or short supply. And because of this, that is mainly creating a situation of crisis. And actually if you are talking about this leprosy, which is mainly caused by bacteria, that is Mycobacterium leprae, and the incubation period is very, very long. And according to World Health Organization, here leprosy, it is endemic in several states. For example, here India, and they detected about 0.4% for 10,000 people, okay, population in the country. So here you have to know about this, what is this drug, that is clofazimine, and as well as leprosy. This is your homework. And if you move forward to this page number 15, you can see Russia withdraws from the Snake Island. So you have to see where is the Snake Island, which is mainly located, and why it is important. And if you move forward to this business page, that is page number 16, you can see, so may core sector output rise 2.6 subsequently. So it is mainly saying that yes, there is increasing of core sector output. It is saying that increasing of core sector output. So you have to know about which are the following which mainly comes in this core sector. So one mnemonic here is FERNS3C, that is fertilizer, electricity, refineries, natural gas, steel, coal, crude oil and cement. These 8 which mainly comes under this core sector. And you have to know about IIP, Index of Industrial Production, as well. Okay, so these are some important articles that appeared in our Hindu newspaper. So I hope you enjoyed this lecture. Please subscribe to Rathod's IAS Academy and don't forget to like, share and comment my videos. And if you have any doubts regarding the courses, please call me on this number 807-476-5513. And this is also the WhatsApp number, and you can also text me on this number in WhatsApp. And if you want to get the PDF of this class, so please join the Telegram channel. So link is given in the Telegram. It is given in the description box. And in this Telegram channel, we are also posting some important current affairs related updates also. So by this I'm concluding. Thank you so much.